Lord Mortimer asked me to join him. We have some business to take care of.
Oh, how mysterious. You adapt quickly, my son. You get along here like a fish in water. Would you believe that we are all here hoping to solve our personal issues? You'll see.
Right. I doubt that you came here to look for your mother, Your Eminence.
Anyway, consider yourself fortunate, young man, because there are many who dream of simply one day setting foot on this island, and only a very few ever make it. Indeed, I imagine this must be your first time here.
Turn location back to bush.
And you, Duchess? You seem to be quite accustomed to things here. Am I right?
I do not think that one can ever get accustomed to what Lord Mortimer prepares for his guests. But you are right. This is not the first time I've been on this wharf.
If you've come back again, I imagine you must find it to be of some interest.
Here, everything is possible if you make the right choices. It really is up to you whether you leave better off or not.
Please excuse me if you find me overly curious, young man. I did not mean to cause you any embarrassment. Come, Duchess. They are waiting for us.
We're moving, Monsieur de Richet, if you would like to join us.
I'm coming, Duchess. A cardinal? A duchess? I wonder if all the guests here are this prestigious. If I'd known, I would have gone for a better suit.
Are you all right?
Os caras estão tendo os lápis. Eita.
Mother? Oh shit, your hand!
So?
Okay, it's done.
Did you put it in a safe place?
Yes. I made sure no one was following me. Don't worry, Sarah, no one's going to find it.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Right. Just one thing left to do.
No, Mother, no, don't!
What? Have you lost your mind?
There's no other way.
If you kill me, you won't find it.
That is the point, my dear. No one must ever put their hands on it.
But I trusted you.
No, Sarah. Don't! No. No!
Nossa!
You can run if you want to, Sarah.
Vai do
But you
mal,
will
mano.
pay.
Ah, ele tava tendo visão.
Hugh.
Louis, are you all right? What's going on? Here, take this.
I'm sorry.
Keep it. Are you better?
I'm fine. Don't worry. It's getting late. Why don't you go on ahead and I'll catch up with you, okay?
Are you sure?
Yes! I'm sorry. I'm sure, yes.
Fine.
I definitely have to find Mother quickly. Am I going crazy or what? This can't be real. The Duchess arrived with me. What's happening to me, for God's sake? I absolutely need to find you, Mother.
Tá bonito, hein? Olha as estrelas, cara. Deixa eu ver essa trilha, será? Deixa eu ver o que ele faz aqui. Botão, nada. Então vamos. Lá, baixar, tá. Vambora.
Louis, during the trip, I had something I wanted to ask you, but we didn't happen to run into each other.
Yes, Duchess?
I'm not sure if you remember, but we've met before. At that time, you were of two minds as to your choice of career. Tell me, what have you been up to since?
Skill. Política, linguística, convecção, dimensão. Escolher uma classe detetive. Ocultista, manipulador. Cientista. Detetive, questões, vigilância, psicológica, agilidade e lógica. Diploma da sociedade para que tenha as línguas. Ocultista. Eu não sou bom. Ocultista. Pai, bagulho aqui tem que... Ponto de habilidade. Falsificação. Quantos pontos tem? Não tem mais pontos não. Tá. Ah, mano, agora eu entendi o que eu fiz. Pera aí.
I have been involved in all sorts of unsolved cases. Have you ever heard of the Abbey of Hexham?
Vaguely.
An ingenious scam involving mass manipulation on a scale never seen before.
There was a cavern under the abbey, wasn't there?
Exactly. The wind would blow in through spouts, creating a terrifying howling sound. So, to stop the howling, the priests called for offerings from the peasants.
And if they brought enough money, I'm guessing the priest stopped the howling. A perfect trick to fool simple souls. And if they brought enough money, I'm guessing the priest stopped the howling. A perfect trick to fool simple souls. And if they brought enough money, I'm guessing the priest stopped the howling. A perfect trick to fool simple souls. And if they brought enough money, I'm guessing the priest stopped the howling.
Emily Hillsbury is next English. Tuberculose. Mano, como é que é o...
Admit it, Duchess. That story kept you in suspense. Admit it, Duchess. That story kept you in suspense. Admit it, Duchess. That story kept you in suspense. Didn't it?
Yes, it did. I'm delighted to find out that you were the young and brilliant French investigator.
For someone who only remembers the case vaguely, your memories are very clear.
Well, they say I have the memory of two people. But please, call me Emily.
Fine, Emily. Tell me, I was actually helped on that case by my mother. You wouldn't know her by any chance?
Wait, Louis. We've already met. You do remember me, don't you?
Yay.
Please excuse me, madam. I'm sure we've met before, but I don't remember where.
I appreciate your honesty, even if it's not very flattering for me.
I imagine that with your beauty, madam, it's the first time a man hasn't remembered your face.
Well, I must say you make up for yourself rather elegantly.
Please stop torturing me. I'm completely at your mercy. Where have we met?
4 years ago, in London?
No, sorry, I don't remember.
In the office of William Pitt. Remember? No?
I'm so sorry, Emily, but I really don't remember you.
Let's drop it, Louis. It doesn't matter. Right, time to go to the manor. Let's drop it, Louis. It doesn't matter. Right, time to go to the manor.
I ask her a question, she answers with another. Is she playing with me? I ask her a question, she answers with another. Is she playing with me? Emily, please excuse my insisting, but... Please excuse my insisting.
Ai, filho da porra.
You still haven't answered about my mother. Do you know her?
You'll see, Louis. Everybody here knows Sarah de Richet.
Still haven't answered about my mother. I don't know where we're going like this, Emily, but you're connected to my mother one way or another. And if I can believe my vision, you don't have much of a place in her heart. You're connected to my mother one way or another. And if I can believe my vision, you don't have much of a place in her heart.
Good evening, sir. May I ask your name, please?
Louis Moras de Richet.
Monsieur de Richet. Delighted to welcome you among us, sir. You must be Sarah de Richet's son. I must tell you we are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. You must be Sarah de Richet's son. I must tell you we are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
What can you tell me about the disappearance of my mother?
2 weeks have passed since Sir's mother went missing. All the staff here have since been busy searching every nook and cranny of the island. But Sir may rest assured, we shouldn't be long in finding her.
And just what have you found so far?
It would seem that Sir's mother may be hiding on the island and regularly changing her location. But no one seems to know why she would find this behavior necessary.
What do you mean?
On several occasions, we have found leftovers of food, a few of her things, or even traces of campsites. The reason why we're searching the wharf again is because lights were spotted there last night.
Where we are now?
Indeed, sir. According to our information, lights were seen in the middle of the night, sir. After verification, none of the guests seem to have left the manor last night. We think that perhaps Sir's mother was here.
Did anyone see anything else?
Unfortunately not, sir. Only lights were seen by servants of the manor, sir. And as I was saying, sir, all the guests were asleep, and no one seems to have noticed anything at all. We seem to have found an object that would appear to belong to Sir's mother. A handkerchief. The handkerchief is embroidered with the initials SDR. We came to the conclusion that they are the initials of Sir's mother, Sarah de Richet. I have orders to give it to Lord Mortimer as soon as I see him.
I know my mother. She's not the kind to go for a midnight stroll on the wharf for nothing. I've got to find out what the hell she was doing here. Where exactly did you find the handkerchief?
On the landing dock, sir. The one you arrived by.
O cara tá ficando boladão ali já, mano. Ele procurou saber da mãe dele, tem 2 semanas que a mãe dele não aparece. E agora?
Pass me the handkerchief.
But sir, my orders were to give it to my master.
Are you refusing to give me my own mother's personal belongings? Even though she was greatly looking forward to meeting your master, she's gone missing. And you seem incapable of finding her.
Oh, but sir, please.
And to top it all off, you refuse to give me the handkerchief that she so often let me use? Do I deserve such little consideration in your eyes? Is that what you wish me to report to your master?
No, certainly not, sir. Please forgive me, sir. I've been such an idiot. Here you are.
Nossa, só um minuto. Tá. Como é que eu acesso essa parada? Tô pegando aqui. Oh. Cadê? Sumiu. Mapinha não. Jornal. Não. Vem aqui, inventário. Mais skill point.
It is indeed your handkerchief, Mother.
Vamos aprender a jogar, né?
You must have come here for a specific reason. I need to know what it is. Let's think. What could she have been doing out here on this wharf?
Olha lá, até esse minuto. Não é nada aqui. Tá pedindo pra me acessar o minuto. Deve ser isso aqui. Bem aqui dentro. Coins. Essa parada aqui mesmo. cara. Peraí. Eu não consegui passar com o cara, não deixou, né? Cai e morre, será? Nem passa.
Locked. I'll never get it open bare-handed.
3 bicuda.
There we are.
Vou abrir, cara.
This looks like a pistol case, but it's empty. I don't know if this has anything to do with you, Mother, but if it does, at least now you're armed. Just like in my vision. And none of it's telling me anything useful. Amber crystals. This wharf is used as storage for a lot of barrels. Uh-huh. What have we here? It's cannon powder.
Pai, foi mal pela tosse.
The powder's wet. Not surprising, given the dampness of the dog. It's unusable now. I don't know what the person who left this barrel like this had in mind, but it's a waste. Apparently, someone on this island has gone through a whole lot of trouble to arm themselves. I really must find you, dear mother, and quickly too.
Ele achou alguma pista da mãe dele aí, isso eu tenho certeza. Pra cá. Agora. Nada na paz. Já foi, né? Opa. É só o brilho lá. eu ver aqui.
Impressive.
Ah, my son. I was looking for you.
What can I do for you, Your Eminence?
I wanted to ask you. You are the son of Sara de Riche, aren't you? You see, your mother and I were supposed to meet here on this very spot. I was supposed to hand her a very important envelope. But I haven't seen her.
If only Mother had told me why she was coming here. Anyway, I ought to take the envelope. It might have something to do with her disappearance. Listen, if it will help, you can always give it to me.
Thank you, my son. I'll bear that in mind. I'd rather deal with her directly. Don't take it personally. Would you happen to know if your mother has arrived yet?
Certainly, Your Eminence. Mother got here some time ago. I was hoping to find her when I arrived, but given the hour, she must be asleep by now.
Right. I shall see her tomorrow.
By the way, Your Eminence, I wasn't aware you knew my mother.
Ah, you only knew my son. I hold your mother in the highest regard. She has rendered great service to the church, and her help is invaluable. I hope that you will follow in her footsteps.
If only she had told me where she was headed.
Nonetheless, our exchanges have always been discreet, and I should like them to remain as such. If your mother wishes to speak to you about us one day, I will not mind if she does so.
That is very commendable. But since we work together on a daily basis, it's surely just an oversight.
Most certainly. You said you work together. What do you do exactly?
My mother and I belong to the same secret organization, the Golden Order, which I joined a few years ago. Mother trained me, and I assist in her research. In other words, you can trust me.
My child, you are telling a perfect stranger that you and your mother work for a secret society. It would seem that discretion is not one of your specialities, my son. You will understand that it does not encourage me to put my trust in you.
Shit. All the same, it bothers me to see you in a quandary, Your Eminence.
Foi mal.
Is there any other
Errei.
solution? Look, if it's of any help, you can always leave your envelope with me, and I'll give it to her as soon as I see her.
I hesitate. Up till now, we have always dealt with her in person, and that has always been successful. Do you think I should give it to you?
Look, you seem hesitant. The simplest thing to do is just to give it to her when you see her. After all, it's not that urgent.
Yes.
Pediu pra manipular. Mano, eu tenho que saber como é que eu vou usar essa parada aqui que eu não tô sabendo ainda. Esses talentos aqui, mano. Como é que eu faço? Depois certinho, ver como é que joga.
I mean, yes, it's urgent. I mean, what if we don't find each other here on the island?
Though I don't know yet when I'll be leaving. I might not be staying for very long. What to do? Can you see a solution? Come on. Just give me the letter for crying out loud.
I cannot run the risk alone. I am going to trust you. You seem like an honest man.
Bingo.
Listen to me, my child. If I give you the letter, can you promise me before God that no one other than your mother will read it?
Your Eminence, that's just not possible for me.
Why is that?
I've always had a Cartesian mind, and I won't make false promises. I respect you too much for that. I spend my time trying to find logical and reasonable answers to problems which, at first glance, may seem supernatural. I'm not saying I don't believe in God as a concept. I just don't believe in the God of your sacred texts. And I don't want to lie to you.
Even though your answer does shock me, son, I shall only hear your honesty. Listen, let's stop there. I'm going to tell you a secret, Monsieur. Listen, let's stop there. I'm going to tell you a secret, Monsieur. The Republican tribunals. The church is literally being bled like a beast. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine. She has made the services of your order available to us by organizing the priest's safe passage across the borders. Even if she does not share all our convictions, she always provided assistance. Young man, you can be proud to be her son. Be it only for her sake. Always respect your name. Here, the letter I spoke of. It includes a list of about 15 names ready for departure. Be quick. Remember to tell Sarah when you see her that time is short.
Well played. I'll decide later when I'm alone whether to look at what it contains.
Sinceramente, eu tô tentando descobrir como é que eu encho essa parada. Bom, vamos dar uma examinada aqui na mansão, né?
Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans by Plutarch, a biography of the great men.
Ih. Não, peguei o livro, foi?
I thought my chimney was big, but this one is beyond belief.
It's the least one can say. I've been longing for a warm fire for ages.
Since I set foot on the island, I haven't ventured more than 2 yards away from it.
Have you also just arrived?
Oh, late morning, I'd say.
Louis, come join us. Monsieur, may I introduce you to Monseigneur His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi? He joins us straight from Rome.
Oh, just call me Your Eminence. It's simple.
George Washington, President of the United States of
Presidente
America.
George Washington.
Delighted at last to make your acquaintance, Mr. President.
Presidente George Washington.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. President. Louis Moras de Richet. It is an honor to meet you.
Young man, let's keep it simple, please. Let us forget our fancy titles. Nice to meet you, Louis.
I should imagine you never thought you'd be in such company.
I must admit that I didn't. It's the first time that I've ever met so many illustrious personalities.
And you haven't seen anything yet. Generally, when Lord Mortimer organizes one of his receptions, there are over a dozen people here.
They can't all be here yet. And you'll see, most of the time there's only the upper crust.
And I noticed you were already getting to know His Eminence at the entrance. It's the perfect place to build up a network. What were you talking about, if you forgive my indiscretion?
At the risk of disappointing you, we weren't conspiring in our corner, sir. His Eminence was simply telling me that he knew my mother and how much he held her in high esteem.
It so happens that Monsieur de Richet's mother is to join us.
Oh, pity. No scrumptious gossip or juicy tidbits, unmentionable secrets, or even money matters. But you'll see, it will come. Despite all the goodwill in the world, you can't stop people scheming left and right around here.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Well, my friends, do any of you know the reason why we're here this time?
Not in the slightest. As for me, I've been invited by Sir Horn, a close friend of Lord Mortimer, but I do not know the reason why.
You see, Louis, every time Lord Mortimer organizes a reception, he always finds a moment to set up a chat with all the guests.
During which time we remake the world.
Accompanied by gallons of absinthe and cussing. I'll leave you to imagine the result.
So, if I understand rightly, Monsieur de Richet, you've come out here to join your mother. For what reason, exactly?
Lord Mortimer asked me to drop everything and come find my mother, who seems to have disappeared during her stay here.
Ah.
I took the first boat, and here I am.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be, sir. It's not your fault.
Seriously, though, I know your mother well. Stay behind with me afterwards, and we'll take a moment to speak about her. I know your mother well. Stay behind with me afterwards, and we'll take a moment to speak about her.
Good Lord. Washington is wearing the emblem of the Grand Master of the Golden Order. It's the highest distinction of the order in the United States. It puts him on par with my mother. He must really know his stuff when it comes to the occult.
Good evening, my friends.
Holy shit. That's the man for my vision.
An urgent case has delayed our host, Lord Mortimer. He can't be present this evening, and he sends his deepest apologies.
He's asked me here and he hasn't even turned up? Great start. Do you know that man?
Sir Gregory Holm, an English aristocrat, very influential. He's also close to Lord Mortimer, so don't be surprised if he acts like he's at home.
And now, my dear guests, a light meal is served in the small salon. For those who would like to, you're invited to follow me into the next room.
My dear fellow, you must have read my thoughts. I shall follow.
We'll have to be careful not to make too much noise. One of Lord Mortimer's guests is relaxing.
Oh, we shall be quiet.
Don't take it the wrong way, Sir Hone, but I've already eaten. Thus, I shall be happy to remain by the fireside.
If you don't mind, Gregory, I should like to keep Mr. Washington company.
Please feel at home. And you, sir?
If I stay with Washington, we'll be able to speak about my mother. But on the other hand, I'd like to learn more about this home. I saw him in my vision. Let's see what Washington has to say. Sir, if you don't mind, I shall stay here.
Do exactly as you please, young man.
Louise, thank you for staying. Just like you, when I arrived this morning, I found out that Sarah had gone missing. I know your mother well. Don't worry. Emily is from the English branch of the Golden Order.
And President Washington is in fact the leader of the Order in the United States.
I didn't know.
Sorry to have made you wait, but I didn't want to speak in front of the others.
You did well. Secrecy and discretion are the pillars of our organization.
If I can help in any way at all, please don't hesitate to ask, my lad. And if you have any other questions, now's the time.
Where does Emily call my mother from?
And you, Emily, what do you think of my mother?
I only know her through the Order. The one time we met, we only exchanged a few words in a corridor of Parliament.
And was the exchange courteous or impassioned?
I'm not sure if I understand.
Was there any with you?
Under other circumstances, I would slap your face for even asking. But I'll put your lack of tact down to her disappearance. Know that your mother is a woman I would love to work with. Her reputation is entirely deserved. Mr. Washington will be able to tell you more.
Mr. Washington. You seem to be very familiar with my mother. Where did you first meet her?
I met Sarah during the War of Independence on American soil. She was introduced to me by a mutual acquaintance, and I must say that her sound advice prevented me from making some terrible mistakes. She may not be a soldier, but believe me, she deserves a statue as much as Lafayette does.
I didn't see that one coming. There's no doubt Mother has many secrets that are still hidden. Right. Would it be too much if I asked you a few more questions?
Not at all. Go ahead. But I can't promise I'll remember everything.
May I ask, when you saw each other, what did you talk about? My mother has always been fascinated by strange powers. Did she talk to you about anything like that?
Yes. Her facility for discerning truths from rumor served me well. Such as preventing massacres, like the one at Salem, from happening again. Or convincing people that horsemen cannot ride around without heads. What was it that she used to say now?
Keep an open and logical mind?
Yes, that's it.
Thank you, sir. I was hoping to speak with Lord Mortimer. At least now I have some information, thanks to you.
I repeat, Lord Mortimer is a man of his word. You won't be disappointed. And I am persuaded that your mother's research is his main concern.
Mother still is at the head of the Golden Order. I find it difficult to believe that she came to this island without notifying the other members.
As for myself, I did not know. I am here at the request of Sir Home, a situation regarding the Crown of England to resolve. and to see what Lord Mortimer has to propose to us.
As for me, Lord Mortimer asked me here to speak about the future of America. I did not know that your mother would even be among us. In any case, no one has yet mentioned associating the Order.
We haven't found many clues yet.
Don't worry, Louis. I'm sure nothing bad has happened to her.
Yes, I hope not.
Careful, they're coming back.
Well, I am impressed with all this splendor.
But don't spend too much time with Mr. Washington, my dear, or you'll lose your pretty accent. You seem to be intrigued by that statue.
Absolutely. It is remarkable.
Lord Mortimer is fond of atypical works of art. I won't disguise the fact that I find it all a little megalomaniacal. But I must say, he does have some outstanding pieces.
Sir Holmes, who was that young lady with you?
Elizabeth Adams, Mr. President. She would have liked to have stayed with us, but the poor thing is exhausted.
Elizabeth Adams?
Miss Adams is here to rest. You have perhaps already come across her in the corridors. She arrived a few days ago.
I perceived her, but we weren't introduced.
Rest assured, she is not here for the same reasons as yourselves. Consequently, I'm counting on your indulgence. On that note, it's very late. You must be exhausted. The servant will accompany you to your rooms.
Ladies, gentlemen, I bid you all good night. Mr. President, Your Eminence, Duchess, you have the same rooms as usual. You, Monsieur de Richet, will find your room at the end of the corridor.
Well, my friends, I am bone tired. I am off to my bed. See you in the morning.
Good night, sir. I shall do likewise.
Louis, I shall see you in the morning. Sleep well.
Good night. See you tomorrow. Oh, man. It's been quite a day. Right. Where is my room? Duchess Emily Hillsborough. Duchess Emily Hillsborough. Duke Manuel Godoy. Huh, that's me. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. President George Washington.
Tem como descer lá pra ver se dá pra me enxergar os quadros, cara? Não dá. É, aqui, ó. Faltou oportunidade aquela hora, agora. Deixa pra lá. Vamos lá pro quarto. Vai. Bloqueado também. Porra. Mas cadê o meu quarto? Eu nem sei mais onde que eu tô. Já desligou o GPS.
Monsieur Jacques Perreux?
Monsieur Jacques Perreux?
Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte.
Napoleão Bonaparte. Não, até Napoleão tá aqui nesse jogo, meu Deus. Peraí que eu nunca joguei, é a primeira vez que tô jogando esse jogo. Aqui vamos ver quem é.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Não sei quem é. Nunca ouvi falar na minha vida. Esse é nosso.
Huh, that's me.
That's me.
Right. So what shall I do with this letter? It might be about my mother's disappearance. But if I open it, I'll be betraying Piaggi's trust. What should I do? Okay, let's see what it contains. Too bad for Piaggi. So, it really is a list of French countrymen. Piaggi wasn't lying. But now it's opened. I'd better get it to Mother soon. Wow! Nice room. Mortimer sure doesn't do things halfway.
Vamos lá. Ah.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a little boost. Saint Jerome and the Angel. Yet again, art with political undertones with an image of a saint hearing voices. Saturn devouring his son. Again? I saw the same theme in the hall. Saint Francis of Assisi in ecstasy, before superior voices. It always amuses me to see how art gets used for propaganda purposes. Saturn devouring his son. Again? I saw the same theme in the hall. I wouldn't like to be his son.
Your turn? The servants are not very efficient.
Durachet can't be far away. They'll find...
Cara, deixa eu dar uma paradinha aqui que eu vou pegar uma água.